What did you feel like went wrong tonight?
There were two runs at the end of the second and the third. They created all the separation. I mean, they played well the whole game. They're a young, athletic team, fresh look. So you knew they were going to come in, and obviously what they did in Denver, and they're excited to get out there, and it showed. We had some resiliency, some fight, but gave up too many open threes. Luke Kennard, a couple turnovers that gave him open looks, easy transition. So it's crazy. You can play 40 good minutes and lose it in two 4-minute stretches. The way the NBA is, that's what happened tonight.
Steph, 10 to 42 as a team from three. What do you think? I guess the quality of looks you guys were getting from behind the arc was it just a tough shooting night, or what did you see?
I can't diagnose the whole every shot, but I feel like early in each half, it wasn't as like the ball didn't have as much energy as it usually does. You got to credit their defense. They have a lot of athleticism, length. They like to switch a lot, so a lot of our off-ball actions weren't necessarily, timing up right. And so, certain games you can feel like you're pressing if the ball's not hopping around, and clearly each possession, that was a good shot. So we can obviously correct that, but they had a really good defensive effort to try to take away some pet actions and stuff like that. Felt like we could probably get downhill a little bit more when they were hugged up on shooters, but Monday morning quarterbacking right now.
Stephen, what are the, I guess, I don't want to say secrets, but what are the best ways to attack a team that's built like the Hawks are with the length and the athleticism to attack their defense?
I think the second half we tried. Usually out there's going to be one or two guys that you can kind of go at to create an advantage. Doesn't mean they're just going to let you, that Olay defense, just let you get to the paint. But, you can create an advantage and then make them react, get the ball moving side to side. We did that well for short spurts out of the game. And then you just got to be able to, have composure and attack if you have a little bit of an angle just to get downhill. I think we struggled to get paint touches tonight. The ball was kind of just swinging around the perimeter, and they're able to keep 5 bodies on bodies. Like that's usually what good defenses do. Tonight we didn't have that answer quick enough.
Steph, Moses and Pods both struggled tonight, and they've had their ups and downs this season. What do you say to a younger player when they're struggling to find the consistency the group needs?
It's part of the journey. I will say, like, my first, was this year 5 for Moses, year 3 for BP? Is that right? Because they're here, everything's on the spotlight, and there's going, feel it was probably a heavier weight than even I experienced early in my career. But you just kind of have to, diagnose or be honest with yourself after each game. What you could have done better, but not lose your confidence. You're going to get another opportunity in the next game to make an impact. Quick decisions, shoot when you're open, don't be results-based. It's about the process of how you're playing, how you're approaching the game that ends up helping us, in the short term and helping you as a player in the long term.
Steph, is there a margin that you feel like if you guys can keep it within, even if you're trailing, that you can still get it at the end of the games, that there's a certain margin that it's within, and you feel like if I'm close enough, I can get us there?
Yeah. We cut it to 15 with, I think it was 4 minutes left, something like that. There was still belief at that point. When you look up and it's 20 with 6 minutes, you got about a minute or two to, have a realistic shot. But Yeah, I feel like if it's within 10 to 15 with more than 3 minutes or something like that, it feels like that's within reason. I know the percentages are not in your favor, but it's worth staying out there and trying to grind out a couple possessions to see how it goes.
To follow up on the question on Moses and Brandon, what do you imagine might be like the challenges of being a role player on the Warriors, like for this franchise specifically, with you, Draymond, and Jimmy on the team?
It's all about winning, and I think that's a good it's a challenging thing, but it's a great thing in terms of building character and bringing the best out of you over the long term. It's just we obviously have a lot of attention. There's a lot of noise. We have a very dedicated, loyal, passionate fan base. Everybody in this room who covers us on a daily basis, you're gonna have all these reads and projections and grading of each player, and it's part of the nature of the success that we've had. And yeah, if you embrace it, I think winning is fun, and the levels that we've been at are none of that's guaranteed in this league, and so you gotta have to take the good and the challenge with what environment we've created here.
Steph, not so much related to tonight's game, but how do you sort of describe Al Horford's impact these last few games? It seems like he's getting back to the way he's played most of his career, and how much do you guys need him to be healthy and productive the way he's been here for a week or two?
He's been a huge part of, some big wins for us recently. And the consistency, him and Melt have been, they're like anchors to lineups for different reasons. And I know Al was struggling early just to be, available and healthy and dealing with some injuries that kept him out. That consistency allows him to just get comfortable. And on both ends of the floor, he's a presence in those short spurts that he's out there. Like you said, tonight was difficult. Just they're a very interesting team, kind of positionless. Like how you call it small ball because there's like 6'9" guys out there all over the place. But having Al available helps us on a nightly basis just because he's heady IQ, shoot the ball, play defense. Just gives you a great presence out there.